All right. So I was thinking about this problem, and I think I got an idea. So our main problem with the performance is we're looping, right? We're looping. I've got a bunch of stuff on the whiteboard. I just wanted to give it a try. I'm not going to go over all of it because, let's be honest, there's nobody here but me. Um, anyway, so I was thinking I need to keep track of, instead of having a big flat object with each value in it that I need to iterate through to figure out if anything exists with a certain frequency. There's going to be like 10,000 different values, right? And so that means I need to loop through 10,000 different things. If I flip that around and I kept track of the frequencies of numbers, then it changes the dimensions of that. So, if I have 10,000 entries, most of those are going to be one. Um, some there's going to be a much smaller set that I need to worry about. Like, just if they were spread evenly, maybe they're 5 groups, each with 1,000 in them. I don't know, 2,000. Either way, that makes it a lot easier to figure out, to scan through to say, if do we have something with this frequency. Um, that can further be optimized because I don't care what has that frequency. I just need to know something has that frequency. And so, even better than maintaining uh, uh, maintaining a key or an object that has each frequency and then a list of what was in there. Because if we have one of something and then we get another, we would have to move it from the one group into the two group. Um, there's overhead in that, and we would have to keep screwing around with those arrays. Again, we don't care about those. So I'm thinking what we can do is keep our count, right? We still have that one list of by value and what the count is. And as that changes, we could keep a different object that sort of has the summary data, and so it'll be quick to access that as well. So I think there's a lot of there's overhead as far as having a couple of different objects to keep track of, but all of the interactions with those objects are going to be just right. They're going to be direct access. We don't have to iterate through those. And so I think that might improve things a lot. So I don't feel like fucking around with the camera right now, but I have it on the whiteboard. It basically says we're going to keep our count by value, and instead of we're also going to maintain a frequency by count. So as we add and remove things, as we adjust the value, we'll add an additional step to modify the frequency by count. And then when we want to know a frequency, we can just look through there real quick to see if it has a certain key. So anyway, where were we? Let's go back in here and, oh, didn't get it. Go back here and see if we can implement this. I know a big part of this is supposed to be talking while I solve the problems, and I was talking at the whiteboard. I just, it's a different process. So I'm sorry I didn't record that for you, but suck it. So, is anagram. This is the wrong one. Do, 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 do. Frequency counts. There we go. Let's look at the frequency. So, we are going through insert, remove, check frequency. So we're going to have our state, which is, I should have named these better. Our state is actually our our list of counts by value. I'm going to change this because it's going to be counts by value. Okay, that's not the right word. Counts by
It's 16
value.
hours.
There we go. We're also going to have a let frequencies by count. When we check this stuff, we're going to say, hey, check for a frequencies by count. That's going to become a very simple operation. All this crazy foolishness. I'm just going to return. This is where we're returning zeros and ones, right? Yeah, we're just going to keep it like that. So checking the frequency is going to become very simple. Now, the complication here is when we update the count, we also need to modify the frequency by count. So what we need to do is figure out what our previous, so like my example I have on the board here is if we get add 1, then we need to add it, where is it? Add it here. I'm going to update these as well. Counts by value. We need to add it to the counts by value, and we also need to add it to the frequency by count. That means if the previous count, this thing, counts by value. So if the previous count was higher than 1, then we need to move it, right? So, let's see. Now I don't want to try and pass in 2 different things here and have them both be changed. But I also don't want to get bogged into the implementation details just yet. When I insert, so you know what I'm going to do just for, I'm going to just do it in line here just so I can keep it simple for the moment. There it is. Wow, look at all my Vim navigation. Not too good. So I'm going to say, here's my count. The new counts by value is going to equal that. I should probably get rid of this spread operator as well, man. That's got to be killing me. That can't be free to do. So here, what we're going to do is just this. So that's going to update the count. Now what I also need to do is say if count is greater than 0, so that means that it used to be in a different slot. I need to remove from the old slot, okay, decrement, and add, either way, I'm going to be adding it to the new slot. So that means frequencies by count plus 1 these terms are getting confusing too. Let's say old count, and I'm going to say const new count. Well, new count equals old count plus 1. New count. New count. So counts by value is updated. And now I need to take care of the old, I need to update the frequencies, so we'll say frequencies, old count, minus, and frequencies, change inner, new count, plus. Okay, so let's walk through this. Let's see, did I already have a count in there? Let's figure it out. My new count is that plus 1. Update my counts by saying this is data, this is the value, and this is its new count. If I already had a count, I need to remove it from the old slot, and either way I need to add it to the new slot. Okay, that makes sense. Now, let's do this guy too. Same sort of situation. We're gonna have to figure out what was the old count, what was the new count, update those. Hold tight. If let's not just get all copy and pasty here. Let's start here. We'll say old count. If old count, then we do stuff. Otherwise, we just ignore everything. So my new count equals my old count minus 1. I'm going to update my counts by value. Is that right? So counts by value. Yep. Okay. So this is sort of a clause around here that says like, yeah, this already existed, so we're good. Man, this stuff is. How do you get rid of this? Anyway. Okay. I don't want to see all this. So now we set our new count, and now we need to update the counts. We know that the old count existed, so we're always going to update that. And our new count will need to be, let's see, old count. So let's walk through this. Frequencies by count. So I had a 6. There was 1 6. Okay, so it says, well, let me find your old count. Well, there was a 1. Okay. So my new count equals 0. So my counts by value, got that. Now frequencies by count. The old count used to be 1, but now it's 0. So let's decrement that. And now my new count, I will increase. Hey, no, this is cool because we're getting a lot of the same logic here, which I feel like is a good thing. Now, before we actually knock this guy out, let's console log. We're not getting the state. We're getting the. I guess we are getting state. I'm going to rename this from state to frequencies by count. I'm going to add frequencies by count. Let's try this on just our regular old code. See how it does. So not a number, not a number, not a number. Okay. Looks like we're gonna have to address that. Why are we getting not a number everywhere? Probably because we're operating on something that was not initialized with 0. So the place I'm not being careful here is down here at the bottom. Let's do a little bit of old-fashioned console login. Make sure our add operation is working correctly. When I get insert 5, I expect to see here, get out of here. I expect after insert 5 that console log counts by value and frequencies by count insert 5, so counts by value, we should have a 5 with 1, and we should have 1, 1. 1, not a number. Well, there's our problem. Counts by value is good. Why is that not right? Because we say, was there an old count? Sure. Oh, because we never actually set this. It's this stupid shorthand, man. So what I should do is say frequencies, new count equals this or 1. Wait. So this first time this goes through, we'll be looking for frequencies by count with an index of 1 and incrementing it. Of course, that doesn't exist. So we're going to say like this or 0 plus 1. Kind of ugly. This one we don't need to worry about it because we know it already existed, right? So let's just whip her through. Frequencies by count. Yes, we have 1 that exists once. And we have 2 that exist once. And we have 1. We have, if you're looking for a frequency of 1, we have 3 of those. And if you're looking for a frequency of 1, we've got 1. 2, we've got 1. And we've got not a number in here somehow. Wah, wah. Same friggin' dealio. Let's say old count equals old count or 0 minus 1. This stuff is begging to be rewritten. One moment. All right, sorry, I had to I am somebody. So let's look at this real quick. Still got not a number. What the heck? All right, I'm being sloppy. Frequencies by count is, it's hard to read this. Am I looking at the wrong thing? What am I logging? Oh my god. Console. Console. There's one, there's one, there's one, there's one. Frequencies by count. Oh, well, I'm doing the same thing here. What a goober. Ay, 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 ay. Well, this is why we like functional code instead. That's cool though. Some of this might be redundant at this point, but it's all right. Let's just get some answers. Frequencies by count. I have one thing with a 1. I have 2 with a 2. Ooh, it looks good. It looks good. Now, that's garbage, obviously. Check frequency. Return frequencies by count frequency greater than 0, then 1, else 0. Let's try that guy. Now, the repetition in here and all that stuff really bugs me, but you know, it's working. First you got to get it green and then you can refactor. Let's see if this is a little bit faster. Oh shit, it's so good. Yes. Fucking loops, man. Okay. Now, because we're hardcore, we're not going to stop there. We are going to make this less terrible to read. Cool lesson, though, man. Very cool lesson. Man, that's awesome. I could inline this stuff. This is just junk, man. But that's all right. We'll leave it for here. The thing that's really bothering me is this nonsense. Let's say const safe add. We'll have an object, we'll have a value, and we'll have a change. And we'll say const old value equals object value, not value, object and key, or 0. Const new value equals old value plus change. Object key equals new value. Return the flippin' object. Let's do that because this is poopy. So let's say frequencies by count equals, I don't remember what I called it, safe add. Safe add frequencies by counts, old count, -1. Does that work? Try it. Could run the whole suite now because it's so fast. Why not? Okay. So how about new count? Count. I could do it there. So yeah. So frequencies by count, old count, -1. Same deal. Frequencies by count, new count, add 1. Let's run it. Survey says, still good. Still good if we do everything. Uh-oh, yeah, there we go. Now, for the record, this stuff is where the difference between a hack and a real good dev comes in. Already got the answer. So, got a paycheck. We could ship this. Now, that's the bare minimum. well, I mean, the bare minimum was getting the first test to pass. Um, but we optimized so that all of them passed. Now, if we just go home, we're just a regular dev. Um, the difference between a regular dev and a good dev is now that we're green, we solve the problem, we can refactor this and make it better. Now, this is there's there are a lot of variables, but it just it's another factor in that is the product is what matters. So we don't worry about perfection initially. I mean, ever. We never get perfection. But the most important thing is to have something that works. Then something that works well and something that's very fast. And this last part is only for the benefit of the engineers. Me later if I have to maintain this, or the guy in 2 years that has to maintain it, or if there's going to be additions to this. If you're short-sighted, you just worry about this problem. All of this grooming afterwards, the revising and making it clean code is what's going to make it better for everybody and really help longevity of the code and all that stuff. So anyway, blah. Let's find some examples here of duplication. New count, new count, new count. Why am I messing with this new count so much? Oh, I get it. I feel guilty after that big spiel of just bailing, but this is just a coding exercise. I don't really want to keep screwing around in this clunky ass environment to like make this perfect code. It's good enough for what this is supposed to be. We could continue refactoring so everything was like nice and bite-sized, but I'm not going to. I'm just gonna submit it one more time just to watch that all of them pass. Yeah. And let's look at the discussions to see how other people are doing it. Just real quick. I did not do this. Blah, blah, blah. Man, their stuff is so short. Shit like this is like damn near impossible to read. Is he using regex here? Wow. Weird. So this guy's looping through, finding op and num, the operation and the number. If the hash has this key, then add it. One. So look, so he's got a hash of the values like we did. Otherwise, if it's the other one, he's talking about removing the hash. And then if it's 3, he's saying, does this hash contain a value? Well, that's pretty slick. Isn't that what we were doing? I feel like it's weird that we had something different. If this hash contains this number, add it. If it does not, then go ahead and set one. Okay, that's our count by value. No, yeah, count by value. So the hash no. Wait. The hash, get the number. Well, I'm not going to make you sit here and watch this. Goodbye.